So when it comes to masterminds, creating masterminds, what are the mistakes that entrepreneurs make when they want to start their own masterminds? What do you think are people doing wrong?
Yeah, and I think one of the things I see is that we self dub or self give ourselves the name expert or guru. There's a lot of experts, a lot of gurus. The one thing that I always believed in is you never give yourself your own nickname, and you never dub yourself an expert or a guru. If the crowd sits there and says you're an expert or guru, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with the crowd giving you the nickname, but don't give yourself that. Be a student. Always be a student. Be more interested than interesting. So where do I see it going wrong? Is they say, I'm the expert in this. They're great at marketing. People flood to the room, figuratively. And then they get there, and you have all different people from all the different industries, and all the guru or expert can do is teach it from their perspective. And they can't help people plug and play. Or they get the people that fled to that room, they come there, and all of a sudden they've got a motivational speaker. Now, it's great to get a motivational speaker, but they don't have an activator, someone that can actually give them actionable results. Like, here's step 1 through 10. And I'm being generic in the steps 1 through 10, but here's what you do. You implement this and this, and then we're going to come back. Here are your actionable items. They just get them all excited. Like, have you ever been to a conference and like someone comes off stage and it's a huge name, and I'm not going to throw any names out there, but huge name, get you all excited.
And then nothing happens.
24 hours later, like, I just got to see. Okay, great. How much did you cost? It cost me $1,200 US dollars. All right. So what are you going to do with it? This is just awesome. And I've got nothing. I'm a motivator, not an activator. So you're going to have so many masterminds that are going to be motivators. But what did they actually give you that was actionable? Nothing. So when it comes to creating a mastermind, I don't want people to use the term lightly. I want them to really think about it and really realize, like, when they're putting it together, who am I going to surround myself with? Because I can't do a mastermind just by myself. Who is in my sphere that is in different industries that I can bring in, because I can't know everything. So when they're going through the mastermind, they're going to bring in product expert A, product X. And I know I use the word expert, but teacher A, teacher B, teacher C, to help the overall group environment level up, go to that next level. Realizing that, like, you might be able to create a great room environment, but that you're going to need to rely upon also other people that are knowledgeable in something to help those that are in the mastermind. So I really sit there and see that we try to have people that try to call themselves experts and gurus when they're really not. And then people get burnt. They spend money that they maybe can or can't afford. And then they're just jaded from the experience and like, hey, I'm out. I'm done.
Yes.
Not going to invest in myself anymore. Again, that's where I had an unfair advantage, that if it didn't work out, I might not have been jaded. I might have been PO'd, but I could have still kept moving forward. So that's one example. I mean, we can keep going down a list of things that we see that aren't handled right when it comes to a mastermind. Deliverables, follow through. If you list, these 5 deliverables and only 2 of them happen, that's a problem. I know I'm being vague, but it's been a mastermind that I've been in before. They're like, hey, here are the 5 deliverables that we're going to do. And these 5 deliverables equal this value. And you want your value to exceed what the cost or what the investment was. So you don't want to look at it as a cost. You want to look at it as investment. And if they don't, at the end of it, you got a problem. You have an honest problem that if you have these 5 deliverables and only 2 of the 5 happen, what you promised and what actually happened isn't there. And I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
Yeah. So in the old days, people came together and they flew to Thailand, for example, or go to conferences. These days, it's more like Zoom calls, private Zoom calls, and So how did COVID affected to this whole mastermind business?
Yeah. And here was a nice thing. Even before COVID happened, masterminds, if some of the best ones would be maybe monthly meetups on a Zoom. And then you would have like 4 experiences throughout the year. So if we're talking a 12-month mastermind, okay,
Yes.
let's say you have monthly meetups, and in those monthly Zoom calls, they bring in a product specialist, okay, based off of
Yes.
what the overarching mastermind is about. From there, you have 4 experiences throughout the year. And again, all of these are just placeholders. If we're saying it's a 12-month one, monthly calls, product specialists come in to talk about what it is. So they're moving the needle. If it's like, hey, over the next 12 months, we need to accomplish these things, you put those product specialists in the right order so it gets them closer to what their goal is. And then when you have those in-person ones, those experiences, that's when, that level of the mastermind goes up, because now we're in the see it, touch it, feel it phase. We see each other on Zoom, but now we can touch it and feel it when we're face to face. So I think the best ones, if you can, Zoom's fine. Like that was my first, before I hit Thailand, we did have some Zoom calls, and I was good with that because I knew I was eventually going to get to touch it and feel it, meaning I was going to be face to face with those people. So I think you're fine. Like, a lot of people got frantic. I get it. I'm not trying to downplay COVID whatsoever and what happened, but a lot of things really didn't go well during that, and we didn't know what was going to happen, and we became super reactionary. And all you had to do is just shift it and say, hey, by the way, we can't meet up anymore. We're going to have to postpone this to 2021, but let's continue having these Zoom calls. Let's continue moving the needle forward, because at the end of it, whether you're on Zoom or you're face-to-face, more happens face-to-face, but you can still accomplish the same thing. Like, think about it. Like, you and I are having this conversation right now. You're probably anywhere from 10 to 12 hours ahead of me, time zone, I'm guessing. And we're able to still get the same amount of value based off of a conversation, because I can see you. I can read your facial expressions. I can sit there and be like, okay, am I being a good guest right now? Am I actually helping move the needle and answering questions that are actually valuable to Jakob's audience? And so, to me, a mastermind can be held this way, and that's how they're going to have to be held for a while going forward, because it's not going to be as easy still to travel.